वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्तप्रतिपत्तये जगदपितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वार्ताय प्रतिबोधिताम् भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथिताम् पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतमृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् मूकं करोति वाचालम् पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् हरिः ओम्। So there cannot be any better Yajna Prasada than a rain. Therefore, I think gods have blessed us enough for all the collective effort of all of us in the last 7 days. It's a very auspicious sign that our 7-day program is ending with copious rain, which is the greatest indication of Mangala. So, very nice to see so much rain happening. So we have in the last 6 days immersed ourselves into Jnana Yoga. But every chapter of Bhagavad Gita is so special by itself. Every time when I think of a particular chapter, I think this chapter is so great. Only to be reminded, no, the next chapter is also great. That is the greatness of, I think, Gita. That's why, as I was saying yesterday, Shankaracharya, that's why he said, Sarva Vedanta Sarabhuta Sangraha. That's a very great title for Gita, which is Sara, Sangraha of the Sara. See, Sara itself is an essence. It is a collection of the essence. So there are two adjectives there. There is an essence and there is a collection of all Vedanta. So that is the greatness of Gita. That is why I have been saying this several times. In our Sampradaya, whether it was Shankaracharya, whether it was Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, that Siddhanta was established only when it was aligned to the Prasthanatraya, the three major texts. which is Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Dashopanishad, and Gita. So, in a way, what it shows is what is contained in Brahma Sutra Bhashya, what is contained in Upanishad is actually contained here. In my weekly satsanga, I am now doing Mundakopanishad. They almost come to an end. I've been cancelling week after week. Travel, these 2 weeks has gone on this and so on. But every class I am able to show for the mantras that are there in Mundakopanishad, I am able to show shloka from Bhagavad Gita. That is the charm of Bhagavad Gita. So, that is the charm of this chapter anyway. I have titled it as our gateway to experiencing divinity. That is the title I gave. I don't know how many of you noticed it. Because that Swatmanubhava, that Bhakti is discussed in Bhagavad Gita starting from the 7th chapter. That's why first of all Krishna said, Matta Parataram na anyadasti dhananjaya. Mayi sarvamitam protam sutre manigana iva. We have to, this is the ultimate destination for us. We can start any ways. We can start with the Saguna Upasana, we can start with a very detailed exposition of texts. We can start with meditation, Karma Yoga, whichever we start. I think the destination is, are we able to see God everywhere? That is the Lakshya. Whatever we do, that is the Lakshya. Are we able to finally realize that oneness from the Veda Bhava? Are we able to go to the Brahma Bhava? That is the goal of our Janmas. That is the goal of our living. And every Janma has that goal. How much we are able to achieve is a matter. That's why in the last 10 shlokas, Krishna said, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate, Vasudeva Sarvamitam Samahatma Sudurlabha. Then also we saw why Dvandva Moha will come to us. Vyakta and Avyakta, we think they are different. Or the Yoga Maya will take a grip on us. So many things. All these happen. So at the end of the day, the only message we have to take from chapter 7 is, when are we going to see that oneness of God everywhere? A person who sees the oneness of God will not stop the Vyavahara. Don't ever have to think, because he sees the oneness of God everywhere, he will take his hands off. No more work, nothing like that. His work will be with a renewed perspective. The work will only become stronger. The duty that we are supposed to do will only become stronger, will become more focused, will become more purposeful. Therefore, this journey is not going to take us from what we do in our day-to-day life. It will only add meaning to our day-to-day life. That is why this Paramarthika Drishti is very important, because a Paramarthika Drishti adds value to a Vyavaharika plane. Otherwise, meaninglessly we will do things. We may not know Lakshya, or our Lakshya is so low level that we may lose out in the process. That's why we need the Paramarthika Drishti, Spashtata, that clarity of thought. Somehow we should intensely pray only for that. When are you going to give me that Drishti of Samatva Bhava? That if we can achieve, everything falls in place and everything will all go the way it has to go. So that is in actually the message that Krishna has given in chapter 7. And he is going to continue this in all the chapters to come up to the 12th chapter. He is going to continue this. In so many ways, he is going to actually say this again and again and again. He has a logic with which he is taking. So far we saw all these, and what is left with us is the last 2 shlokas are the ones left with us. And Sri Krishna has in every, not, I wouldn't say every chapter, but in many chapters. I wouldn't say every chapter, but in many chapters, the last shloka or the last two shlokas indicates already it takes us to the next level of thought. In other words, the last two shlokas will only make us wait for the next chapter. Because it is a sort of a trailer. In some ways, when are we going to have the next chapter like that, the feeling will come. Because he doesn't say anything, he just throws a few terms. He doesn't say in detail. He simply introduces a few terms and then he leaves it and arouses the curiosity of people so that they go to the next chapter. That is what is happening. So we'll see the last two shlokas. Jara marana mokshaya mama shritya yatantiye te brahma tadvidu krishnam adhyatmam karma chakilam. Jara marana mokshaya mam ashritya yatantiye. Such people who are doing like that. Ye in Sanskrit is jo in Hindi. Jo bolta hai. Jaisa jo. So the jo is ye. Okay. Te, such people, brahma tad viduhu krishnam adhyatmam karmacha akilam. So that is the shloka here. So what is he saying? Jara marana mokshaya. See, look at our janma. Just, objectively think about our janma. Janma meaning not only ours, Sakala Jiva Rashi. Span may be different. For a fly, the span may be a few minutes. For a dragonfly, it may be half an hour. That is not the point. Or for a caterpillar, it may be for 6 weeks. For a cat, it may be 10 years, etc., etc. It is not about the time. Look at this commonality. Every Sakala Jiva Rashi goes through 6 stages. There are 6 stages that we go through. The first stage is called Asti. Jayate. That's the second, I'll explain it. Asti, Jayate, Vardhayate, Parinamate, Sirshyate, Nashyate. These are the 6 stages of anything. I would say not even living beings. It is true of this table also. If you want, I will take the example of table and explain this. If you are not comfortable with taking our own, let us take this example. What I am saying, there is something called Asti. That a particular padartha, Chit bhavatu, Jada bhavatu. It may be sentient like us, insentient like a projector or a computer or a table or etc., etc. It first reaches a state called Asti, Astitva. It means somebody has conceptualized it. The Astitva is the first requirement for existence. Things which cannot exist, cannot exist. Non-existent things does not come into the domain of existence. In Vedanta, they give examples. A hare with a, horns. Like that, they give examples. They are all non-existent domain. So, Astitva is the first thing. That there is a world of entities which the God has created. We may discover it later. So, we exist. We may be in an avyakta, then we become vyakta. We all exist. So, that is the first stage for all of us. Asti. Then Jayate. From the avyakta form, we become vyakta. We are born. This table is born. Now, this building is going to get a birth, which is going to become bigger. This building is going to become bigger. Astitva has been Nityam Kritam. Now, Jayate is going to happen in a few months. With the God's grace, it is going to happen. Jayate is going to happen in the next few months. Means the concept becomes a reality. Then Vardhayate. We all grow. There is a certain motion of growth. Right? You measure it by height or by a little bit of knowledge or whatever you want to use it. So this building also will slowly, brick by brick, it will grow. That is the jayate. Right? Parinamate. We keep on changing. The only unchanging thing about us is we keep changing. Every 7 years, all the 6 billion cells in us are completely destroyed. What you are 7 years back is not what you are today, not even one cell. That's what science is saying. The whole body has replenished the entire 6 billion cells in 7 years. So what was Mahadevan 7 years back is not Mahadevan today. The cell, if your cell is a unit of, measurement of Vyakti, gone. So Parinamate. Or outward we keep changing. Just 3 hours back, I was looking at some 2004 photos. I couldn't believe that it was my photo. We all have that experience. I was looking at something, then some directory I opened. So we all change. Parinamate. Right? Then deterioration starts. A new building, after some time, slowly cracks develop, or some plastering patch goes, or the table develops a little bit of a crack. For us, the Indriya Devatas saying, I am now beginning to say goodbye to you, because my Shakti comes down. The Drishti Shakti, Grahana Shakti, Grana Shakti. Indriya Devatas, slowly they also saying, enough, let me find my way, like that. So we have what is called Parinamate, Sirshyate, then Mriyate. Jatasya Dhruvo Mrityuho. There's nothing unusual or strange about it. But the point is, we seem to be going through it n number of times. Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Shayanam, Iha Samsare, Bagudustare. It's happening again and again and again. How many times? Are we not tired? Is it not, after a while, we say, this is all enough? We have done it too many number of times. That is the Jara Marana Mokshaya. The Jara, Janma, Marana, in between Vyadhi and Jara. In simple terms, there are 4 milestones through which all of us, I told 6, it can be 4, 6, whatever you want to call it. That's the reality of anything which is physical. Anything which is material has to go through all that. So, one reason why our bhakti gets dhrida, one reason why our bhakti becomes stronger is by the God's grace, this comes to us. Jara Marana Mokshaya. The feeling slowly builds into us after several janmas. That's why we get into satsanga, we seriously sit and then we contemplate, we hear, everything happens. Slowly the thought percolates in us. So, Jara Marana Mokshaya, what should we do? Krishna says, Mam Ashritya. They rely on me. They know I am the only abode for this to happen. Yatanti, Yatna Matare. They make effort. They make as much effort as it is required, because they have now come to a conclusion, this is enough. How many times do we do? I think the time has come for us to really think. That also must come through the grace of the Lord. So these are all part of our prayer list. These are the real prayer list for us. If you look at Adi Shankaracharya's stotras, he'll never ask for money and all that. His stotras are all like this. He says, give me that, take me from this samsara. All shlokas will be like that. So this is our prayer. And we have to keep praying. And God knows when to open the eyes and our eyes, and knows where to take us. So we have to live it. Just like I told yesterday, the 2-year-old child will leave everything to the parents. Then now child is very free. Parents have to keep running up and forth, and then all the time finding out what is happening to the child. So let us leave the responsibility to the Lord. Let us take our hands off. That is the quality of the prayer. If we can develop that habit and that quality of prayer, let me tell you, even in our workplace, it will have a very positive impact. Because many complex things will not put it on our head. We will keep doing. Somewhere courage will come, because He gives the courage. So these ideas are very useful even in a workplace, not necessarily only in a very Vedantic and a very Paramarthika Drishti, even a Vyavaharika Drishti, a person who has developed this attitude to life will be a better person even in a workplace. Because the same vasanas will spill over there also. How can it not spill over? It will spill over on the other side also. So that's why he says, Jara Marana Mokshaya, Mam Ashitye Tantiye, they, such people, Krishnam Brahmam Viduhu, Brahma Viduhu. Completely they will know that Krishnam can be for this side, the Krishnam can be for the other two concepts he is telling on the right side. The Karmacha Akilam is enough, Krishnam is not required. Completely, fully. So such a person knows Adhyatmam. See, Adhi is a prefix, which is Adi means, that's why he says Adhikara, which means that locus of action lies there. That's why he is called Adhikari. He or she has the locus of action. Only if I give instruction you can do, right? So I am Adhikari. So the Adhikara. So Adi is the abode in which it is there. So it says Adhyatma. So that person knows what is the abode of the Atma, which is the Brahman, right? And he knows Karma Cha Akilam. The whole Vyapara of karma, Kim Karma, Kima Karmeti, in chapter 4 he says, Kavayoha api atra mohitaha. So he will know. He will understand the whole thing of karma, Cha Akilam. So that is what he says, that this bhakti will tune us to that mindset, that our prayers will go towards saying, take me out of this Jara Marana. And the Lord will bless us when a time comes. We need to have that, Achalam Shraddham. That's what he said in the 3 shlokas before. You bring that Shraddha, which is an unwavering Shraddha. Then Devan Yanti, I will give all that you ask through them. All that we saw in the last 4 or 5 shlokas. So that Achalam Shraddham is all that is required. The Lord will take us through this, is what Krishna is saying here in this shloka. Then there is a last shloka, which is, he puts a set of technical terms and not explaining it, because they say, let me start chapter 8 with that. Oh, I will motivate you to go to chapter 8. Sadi bhutadi daivam mam, sadi yajnam cha ye viduhu, prayana kale picha mam, te vidur yukta chetasaha. Sa, the upasarga sa, sa kutumbam, sa mitram, along with, sa means along with. So adhibhutam, adhidevam. So adhibhutam along with adhidevam, also adhiyajnam. So there are 3 adhi now, which means the abode of all bhutas is the adhibhutam, or the primordial source, we can say. Primordial source of all bhutas is adhibhutam, we can say. Adhidevam, the primordial source of all these devatas is Adhidevam. There is also much different meaning which we will have to see in the 8th chapter. I just leave it like this. Adhidevam. Huh? Then Adhiyajnam. Yajnam means actually it talks about karma. All these it describes in the 8th chapter. So, Chaye Viduhu, in fact, such a person understands this whole scheme of things. The Adhibhutam, the Adhidevam, and the Adhiyajnam, which all govern us in many ways in our trajectory of life. They are the ones which actually govern us in our trajectory of life across Janma. In some ways, that is what it is. So, what he is saying is, Sadi Bhutadi Devam Mam, Sadi Yajnam Chaye Viduhu, one who knows, one who developed this deep understanding of Adidevam, Adibhutam, and Adiyajnam, What happens to him? Prayana kale, our last journey, the last sleep for all of us, right? Prayana kale picha mam te viduhu. I will come in their mind. They will remember me. Mama Smarana Spurana will happen. The Spurana of my Smarana will happen. That is what he is saying, that at that final moment, they will also know me. Meaning, they are in my thought. This is very nicely explained in the 8th chapter. The Akshara Brahma Yoga. These are the things which are being discussed in some ways. I typically say that 8th chapter is all about the art of dying. That's a word I use. Because it is very, very important. In this Sanatana Dharma, nobody is afraid of death. It's the Westerners who are so afraid of death. And I can understand why they are afraid of death. Because they have only one chance. Then the tension is very high, no? If it is one chance, the tension is very high. Because after that, I don't get a chance. So I have to do everything now. That's why for them, the thought of death is very horrifying for the Westerners because of the framework. For us, death is only a comma. It is never a full stop. That's why he said, Vasamsi Jirnani Yata Vihaya Navani Granati Naroparani. That's what he said, 22nd shloka in chapter 2. He said, this is like discarding the shirt and wearing another shirt. Sanatana Dharma gives us strength. And that's why in chapter 6 he said, Na kaschit kalyanakir durgatim tata gacchati. Your efforts will never go waste. Because Arjuna asked, you are telling nice things about this, yoga and all that. At least I would have enjoyed my life. Ubhaya Prashta, he says, I will be spoiled of both sides. For which when he answered the last 6 shlokas in chapter 6, so beautiful, he says, no. Nothing goes waste. Nothing. None of your effort goes waste. Always remember that. None of your efforts go waste. That is why for us, death is not at all scary. The more we have a Vedantic understanding of life, we are at peace and gracefully we will exit. Okay, we will gracefully exit. What is there? We will exit gracefully because it is only one more chance for us. We don't know. It is only one more chance for us. There is no tension. There is no hurry. There is a hurry of a different kind. Meaning, I want to end this cycle, that hurry. Not a hurry that the cycle is coming to an end. We are not, a true Sanatana Dharma teaches us that. Therefore, it is not something to worry about. It is something for which we have to work for the whole. That's why I call it the art of dying. Because I keep saying that the reason why everybody took birth was the last sleep must be peaceful. Ade Uddesha. That is the lakshya of a janma. The last sleep must be peaceful. Whatever that last sleep means. That is what he is saying. Prayana kale picha mam te viduhu yukta chetasaha. Why he remembers me? Yukta chetasaha. As I told you, this yukta is connected. Yoke. Yoga, yukta, all these yoke connected. His chetas is connected to the Lord. He is reveling in the thought of the Lord. That's why he knows Adi Yajnam, Adi Bhutam, and Adi Daivam. His thought is connected. While he is in the Vyavahara, his thought is connected. That is what it is. It is like the thought of the Lord is his natural state of being conscious. So you don't need extra effort to be conscious. Your consciousness is taken for granted. While you are conscious, you are doing 1,000 things. You don't make an extra effort to be conscious. So this must now add to that list. That feeling of godliness must become consciousness. Once it happens, then life will anyway happen. Because we don't make effort to be conscious. That is part of us. So for him, this will become part of us. Therefore, prayana kale pichamam te viduhu yukta chetasaha. They will be, because they are constantly in union with us. such a person, a true bhakta, is connected with me forever. So it is no surprising that in his last sleep, I appear before him. I am in front of him. That's what all these Bhagavata stories are saying, no? When we have Gajendra Moksha and these stories, what are they? They are communicating that idea. That the thought must pervade us all the time so that it will come in the last time also, in the last occasion also. That's what it is. So, now I just want to quote two shlokas from Mukundamala, because that is what it is. Diviva bhuviva mamastu vaso narakeva narakantaka prakamam avadhirita sharadhara vindau charanau te marane pichintayani. That's what he says. Diviva bhuviva mamastu vasaha. I don't mind where I am. Because of my vasana bala and my karma, whatever, you put me wherever you want to put. That is okay. Narakeva Nakantaka prakam. Whatever is the place where I am not bothered. He says, I must remember you at the 11th hour. Sharadhara vindau charanau. Te sharadhara vindau charanau. Right? Maranepi chintayani. Some pata is also there chintayami. Some pata is there chintayani. This is a grammatical thing. Chintayani is I wish I were. Now we use in English I wish I were. If you want to say I wish I were, you have to say Bhavani. If you say I am, you should say Bhavami. That me is I wish I were. So there is a very beautiful shloka in Saundarya. Bhavani tum dase mai vitara drishtim sakarunam iti stotum vanchankate Bhavani tum iti yah tadaiva tum tasmai dishashi nijasayujya padavim mukunda brahmendra sputa makuta nirajita padam. There Bhavani tum dase, this bhakta wanted to say Bhavani tum dase mai vitara drishtim sakarunam. You show your grace, your karuna kataksha, and let it fall on me. He wanted iti stotum vanchan. He wanted to say like that. He simply uttered the word Bhavani. Devi thought, he said, I wish I were you, so I will grant you that status. So that Bhavani is I wish I were. That he said only, Shankaracharya says Bhavani. That's all he said. He wanted to tell the whole thing. I have just said Bhavani, but the Amma thought, I wish I were. He is saying, let him become like me. That is the history of that nice shloka in Saundarya. It's a 22nd shloka in Saundarya. Bhavani tum dase. So here Chintayani, some people also in some pata it says Chintayami also. Anyway, the point is, the prayer is, wherever I am, I want to remember you at the 11th hour. Wherever I am, I want to remember you the 11th hour. And the next shloka he says, why? Then he says, I remember you right away because the 11th hour what happens, I do not know. So that's why he says, Krishna Tudiya Pada Pankaja Pancharantam Adyaiva me Vishatu Manasarajahamsaha Prana Prayana Samaye Kapapada Pittai Kanta Varodhana Vidau Smaranam Kutaste. The final moment, there is a traffic jam in my throat. Everything, everything comes and blocks. I don't think I will remember you at that time. So the best way for me to remember you at that time is today itself you enter into me. So and you be with me. That's why Adyayeva Vishatu Manasa Raja Hamsaha. Get into me today itself. So that I am taken care, because the 11th hour is very difficult. So that is what Krishna in this shloka saying, Prana Prayana Kale Viduhu Yukta Chetasa. So that is what in this, I think with this we will have to conclude chapter 8, chapter 7. I will quickly do a summary of what are all the important things we did in chapter 7, and then I will close it there. 5 minutes I will take under. So the whole chapter we started from this shloka, last shloka in chapter 6. Madgatena yoginiyam sarvesham madgatena antaratmana. That's how the shloka is, if you remember. Shraddhavan bhajatyam yuktavatane me matah. That's the last shloka in chapter 6. What did Krishna say there? Madgatena antaratmana. You enter into me and I enter into you. So now, naturally the question is, how does this happen? That's what the whole chapter 7 started with. So this is the entry into the chapter 7. We said this is the starting point. How do you get that bhava? Madgatena antaratmana. That will come only when we understand this law of conservation of divinity. Only then that will happen. So this was the starter for us for chapter 7. Then the first 3 shlokas, Sri Krishna talked about jnana and vijnana. Yajñātva ñātavyam na avasishyate. Kasmin vijñāte sarvavidam vijñātam bhavati. Tasya uttaram. By knowing, I will tell you jnanam vijnana sahitam. Yajñātva ñātavyam na avasishyate. So the first 3 shlokas are preamble saying, I am going to tell you what is jnana, what is vijnana, what is the difference between jnana and vijnana, right? And what is experience and what is just knowledge. All that was the first 3 shlokas. Sri Krishna put an preamble into what is going to come. Then came this whole idea of para prakriti, prakriti rashtada, bhumi rapo nalo. Vayu kam mano bhukti revacha ankaramiti eme bhinna prakriti ashtada apareyam. So para prakriti, apara prakriti, dharyate jagat, the entire this is the yoni which is for the entire world. So the para prakriti. Then he introduced matta parataram na anyatkinjidesti dhananjaya mayi sarvamitam krotam sutre maniganaya. That I am the thread on which the whole world is woven. Then he gave a few examples. Quickly, he gave a few examples in Shloka 8 to 11. Balam balavatam chaham tejas tejasvinamaham. Right? Sashi Surya Vibhas Sashi Surya Yoho. Kama Raga Vivarjitam. That balam is what I am. Dharma Avruddha Kamosmyaham. Any kama which is not violation of dharma, I am there. So he gave quickly a few examples so that you look here and there. Panchabuddhas also he gave. Prithiviyam Gandha Prithiviyam Rasopsu Kaunteya. The Panchabuddhas, he said, the sapidity is me. The nice smell, now there is a rain, the nice smell that you get is me, etc., etc. So he gave some quick examples, all that he did in these 8 shlokas, 704 to 711. Then he introduced the Maya and the Triguna. Because now he said this Apara Prakriti, now we wanted to know how is this Apara Prakriti made? What is the raw material? Samagri. How all this is happening? How you and all have a temporary form and shape? How these Chit and Jada Padarthas are coming? So for that he introduced Devi Esha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Duratraya, all that he said. If you have bhakti in me, Mayam Yetam Tarantite. All that he said. He said, you have this Maya is a very complex game. We saw a little bit about Maya. But then at the end of it, he said, no, you can cross the Maya, for which you should do Prapatti. Those who do Prapatti will cross the Maya. So then immediately our question was, what is this Prapatti? And that's where the whole idea of Bhakti started. Bhakta started. He said, well, Prapatti, Bhaktas do Prapatti to me. So Chaturvitam Mam me Bhajanti Artaha Jignasu Artati Yani Paratarshava. So the next 7-8 shlokas, he brought the 4 types of bhaktas. Then he said, for amongst them, Jnani is Eka Bhakti Visishyate, Nitya Yuktaha. All that. He celebrated Jnani. He said, all of them are on the good path only. Again and again he said, Sukriti, no, they are all doing the good job. But then I celebrate Jnani because he has reached, he will cross over, he will succeed. Therefore, he gave all these ideas of celebrating Jnani, Jnani's Lakshana, etc., etc. All that we saw in 16 to 23. Then we saw that why Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapasyade Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. Why is Durlabha? Why it takes so many Janmas? So that's where we saw the last set of slokas. Why are we taking so many Janmas? Because we have our own frame of Prakriti and Vasana. So we, we are a work in progress. So slowly we do things. And some people, worship certain devas. Some people worship me. All that he said. Those who worship devas, they go there. Those who worship me, they come unto me, etc., etc. So all that we saw. That's how he put the whole thing. Now, there is one more thing. He said Bahunam Janmanam Ante. So now we want to understand this crossover business also. From one Janma to another Janma. Why it is happening has been told. Now we want to know the technique of how is it crossing from one Janma to another Janma. That question will come naturally to us. You simply said Bahunam Janmanam Ante. How does this from one Janma you jump to the next? How do you go from second to the third? That is a subject matter for the 8th chapter. Actually. So just to trigger that, he ended by saying Prayana Kale Pichamam Viduhu Yukta Chetasaha. So this technique is what he is going to give in chapter 8. So this is how this whole chapter has taken the flow of ideas for us. And therefore we have spent the last 7 days. With this, I think I will close it. I will now ask Sujata, I think let us meditate these concepts for about 20 minutes. Because sometimes it also a little bit revel in our mind a little bit. My Guru has also come. I take this opportunity to welcome you, sir. Namaskar. So after we have this small meditation, then we will do, I will leave it to Potana Chetty Gaurav. Sir, please come. So I will now leave it to No, I will move. I am now not required. She do it. Open the file for you. Presentation. Maybe switch off some other lights also.
Enough.
Okay.
White lights. White lights.
Switch off.
All right.
Okay. Only one light let it be on.
Left.
That is enough. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Is it the time? Yeah.
Antariki Namaskara. In this chapter, only Bhagavan giving instructions to us. And he shows us how we must see the God in many. So we must remember that there is only one and only Lord. So Lord giving instructions, how one must reach him. So let's start with this. Start with a prayer. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram munina patanjalim pranjalidanatosmi. So let's close our eyes Sit comfortably. Those who are online, switch off the lights for deeper concentration. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Chant Omkara 3 times. Let our mind, intellect, fully concentrate on Bhagavan's instructions. Let us focus our mind attached to the Lord. Maya Satta Manaha. Let us completely surrender. Samagram Madashrayaha. Completely surrender. Let our mind not to have an iota of doubt, asamshaya. Completely surrender. Bhagavan is going to reveal this jnana and vijnana. Let us focus our mind to know about this jnana. We seek Bhagavan's blessings to experience the vijnana. Let us understand the Lord is the origin of the whole creation. His nature or his energy is divided into 8-fold. Prakriti Ashtada. Experience the earth, which gives us food, medicine, and shelter. Experience the Lord in these things. Experience the water. Our body requires 60% of water for absorption of minerals. Transportation of nutrients. Experience the Lord in these things. Experience the presence of air. The very breathing in oxygen and breathe out of carbon dioxide is the Lord. Observe our breathing as the Lord. Please observe our breathing. It is the Lord. Experience the presence of ether or space. It is the subtlest form. Experience the emptiness in between every thought, every breath, Feel the energy around us. Experience the Lord. Observe our thoughts. Observe our mind, which shows us positive and negative thoughts. Experience the Lord. Observe our buddhi, which gives correct decisions. Nischayatmika buddhi. Experience the Lord. Ego is the identification with our body, which we experience when we are the doer and the enjoyer. Experience the Lord. Experience all these 5 gross elements and manas, buddhi, and the ego, the ahankara, or the apara prakriti. Experience the I am, the existence is para prakriti. I am the experiencer without touching the apara prakriti. Experience the Lord. Experience the I am within us and in all living beings, Jiva Bhutam. We are experiencing the Para Prakriti right now. Experience the Lord. Understand that Lord is the source for the entire universe. Experience the one and only Lord when we see everything in this world. Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti are only 2 names of the Lord. Everything arises and merges back to Bhagavan. Let us all meditate the one and the only Bhagavan, the pure consciousness, Sat Chit Ananda. We are all the Ananda Swarupa. Experience this Ananda Swarupa right now. Bhagavan is the sutra behind all these pearls of names and forms. Bhagavan only is there from amoeba to Lord Brahma. Mai sarvamidam purottam. Experience the Jiva within all living beings. Experience within us. Experience the souls. Experience the Lord, the pure consciousness. Experience the existence. Let us understand the Lord is present as prana in water. We are very thirsty. When we drink water, we are experience our prana coming back. Now, Soham up to Kaunteya. Experience the Lord in water. Experience the Lord while seeing the sun and the moon. Experience the Lord while chanting Om, the Pranava mantra. He is inside the sound. Let us chant Om thrice. Om. 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 Experience the Lord in sound. Experience the Lord by having willpower to do our spiritual sadhana. Experience the smell of the earth just before the rains. Experience the smell as the Lord. Experience the brilliance when we see through the eyes. Experience the Lord. Experience the livelihood in every living being. Experience the Lord. Experience the tapas. Experience the Lord. Experience our mind without thoughts. Experience the Lord. Experience the Lord's radiance when we see great sages, gurus, and dharmic people. Experience the Lord. Experience the people's strength, balam balavatam. When we see such people doing actions without desire and attachment, experience the Lord. Experience the divine energy in people who have dharmic desires and selfless actions. Experience the Lord. Lord does not depend on gunas. Only gunas depend on the Lord. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Experience when we see a mirage while driving. Our body, mind, intellect is like a mirage, which is unreal. The real Vastu is the Lord. Experience the Lord. Understand, there is nothing in this universe except the Lord, the pure consciousness. Sarvamidam Jagat. Experience the Lord's existence when we talk, when we sit, when we walk, when we listen, when we pray, in silence, when we are alone, after a good sound sleep. experience the Lord. Only Lord's existence remains. Understand that Maya is difficult to cross. Experience the Lord and Goddess Maya by total surrendering. Surrender to the Lord and surrender to the Maya. Our prayers must be, "O Lord, I am helpless. Whatever your instructions and guidance shall be followed devotedly. You know what is good to me. Whatever you give, I take anything as Ishvara Prasada. Bless me to hold your feet always." This must be our prayers to the Lord. Experience the Lord. Let us completely surrender to the Lord. Let all our dualities, differences disappear. The quietened mind will automatically touch the center of the Lord. Experience the Lord. Let us also develop the single pointed devotion to understand Lord is never separate from us. Let us aim for the Nitya Yukta state always. Tesham Jnani Nityuktaha. Experience the association with wise people, the noble people. Experience with the people who are generous. Experience with the people who have genuine devotion. Experience with the people who does selfless service. Experience of their presence will quieten our mind. Let us understand and know that it takes many janmas to reach the Lord. Bahunam janmanam ante. Having known this, let us not waste time in this janma. Let our prayatna be started here and now. With Lord's blessings, let us remove our Veda Buddhi. Differences in gender, differences in Varna, differences in everything. Let us remove. Let us totally surrender to the Lord. He is only our Savior. Let us develop immense faith deeply in Guru Vakya and in our scriptures. Let our mind gradually turns towards seeing everything as Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Experience the one and only Lord when we worship Shiva, Vishnu, Ambika, etc. Lord is behind every devata. Experience that the Supreme Lord only provides us bhakti, shraddha, for our worship to Devatas. Let us become his devotee and reach him. Mat bhaktayanti mamapi. Develop shraddha and bhakti. Take us to understand the higher nature of Brahman, the one and only Lord. Let us use our buddhi only to know him. Experience the Lord. Understand that Yoga Maya is so powerful, we might fall into the samsara. So let us develop Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Let us develop lot of prayatna for understanding the truth. Let us experience the truth. Experience the Lord in all the three kalas, past, present, and the future. Abide in the self. O mind, drop off this duality, drop off the delusion that this world is permanent. Drop off this delusion. Tell our mind not to go after worldly things. Experience through the meditation the existence of pure consciousness. Let us worship the Lord steadfastly. Let us do virtuous deeds. Experience the Lord who removes our sins. Let us have faith in the Lord that even at the time of death, Lord blesses us realization. Jara marana mokshaya. Mama shritte yatantiye. Let us start developing the shraddha and bhakti towards the Lord. Experience the Lord within. Prana prayana samaye. Prayana kale pichama. So let us all pray in our mind. O Lord, with my steadfast mind, let me pray that at the time of death, even if my body, mind, and senses are not working at the end, O Lord, let my inner consciousness pray only to you and for you, and attain only for you. And let me pray to attain you. With this thought in our mind, always we pray to the Lord for giving us this little jnana and vijnana through the satsanga, and pray to the Lord to continue this spiritual journey of knowing who am I. I conclude with Shanti Mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma kaschit dukkha bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Rub your palms. Keep it on your eyes. Feel the heat from the palm. Slowly open your eyes. Hari Om. Let me humbly thank the omnipresent Lord. Thank all my gurus and Guru Parampara for giving me this wonderful opportunity for this unique idea of meditation. And I must thank our Gurukulu, and I should thank Yoga Master. And I must thank Professor also for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And also I thank the audience for patiently listening to this. Thank you, Hari Om. Wonderful experience.
Thank you. Let me just conclude this chapter and then hand over to the chapter. Just the last ritual that we do for every chapter. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Vijnana Yogo Nama Saptamodhyaya. I think we will bring it to a closure as far as the discourse is concerned. We have with us Brahmashri Ramakrishna. Just offer myself stream first of all. I'll hand it over to Vardhan Sati. Please do the final formality. If you would like to give some message, it will be. Yes, sir, please. Some message would like to give to the audience related to chapter 7 and what all is repeated. We have explored the entire chapter from 7 and the meditation also. Total specs, I'm not able to see anything.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamta Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaje Avaroginam Vidaye Sarvavidyanam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaಃ. ಅಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಗೀತಾ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಯಜ್ಞ 4ನೇ ವರ್ಷ, 5ನೇ ವರ್ಷ, 5ನೇ ವರ್ಷ. 5ನೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಗೀತಾಜ್ಞಾನ ಯಜ್ಞ ಸಂಪನ್ನವಾಗಿದೆ. ಒಂದು ಯಜ್ಞ ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿದಿದೆ ಅನ್ನುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಯಜ್ಞಾತ್ ಭವತಿ ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯ, ಯಜ್ಞದಿಂದ ಮಳೆ ಉಂಟಾಗಬೇಕು. ಈ 7 ದಿವಸಗಳ ಯಜ್ಞದ ಕೊನೆಯ ದಿವಸವಾದ ಇಂದು ನಾನು ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗದೇ ಇರುವಷ್ಟು ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಯಜ್ಞ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಳೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕ, ಸಾಧಿಭೂತಂಚ ದೈವಂ ಮಾಂ ಸಾಧಿ ಯಜ್ಞಂಚ ಯೇ ವಿದುಹು. ಅಧಿಭೂತವನ್ನ, ಅಧಿದೈವವನ್ನ ಹಾಗೂ ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿಯ ಯಜ್ಞವನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಂತಹ ಯಜ್ಞ ಸಂಪನ್ನವಾದಾಗ ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯಾತ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸಂಭವ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಯಜ್ಞಾತ್ ಭವತಿ ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯ, ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯಾತ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸಂಭವ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಜ್ಞ ಸಂಪನ್ನವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವುದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಮಾತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಆಡುವಂತಹ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾತಿಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ನನ್ನ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ವಿಶ್ವಾಸದಿಂದ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, 2 ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಶಂಕರರು ತಮ್ಮ ಭಜಗೋವಿಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ಕಿಂಚಿದಧೀತ ಗಂಗಾ ಜಲಲವ ಕಣಿಕಾ ಪೀತ ಸಕೃದಪಿ ಯಸ್ಯ ಮುರಾರಿ ಸಮರ್ಚ ತಸ್ಯ ಯಮಃ ಕಿಂ ಕುರುತೆ ಚರ್ಚಾ. ಕಿಂಚಿದಧೀತ. ಶಂಕರರು ತಮ್ಮ ಗೀತಾ ಭಾಷ್ಯದ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ತದಿದಂ ಗೀತಾಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಂ ಸಮಸ್ತ ವೇದಾರ್ಥ ಸಾರ ಸಂಗ್ರಹಂ ತದರ್ಥ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನೇ ಸಕಲ ಪುರುಷ ಅರ್ಥ ಸಾಧನಂ ಇದಂ. ಇದು ಗೀತಾಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ, ಸಮಸ್ತ ವೇದಾರ್ಥಗಳ ಸಾರ ಸಂಗ್ರಹ. ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಗ್ರಹಿಸಿದರೆ ಪುರುಷಾರ್ಥಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ವಶವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಪುರುಷಾರ್ಥ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಪುರುಷೈಹಿ ಅರ್ಥ್ಯತೆ ಇತಿ ಪುರುಷಾರ್ಥ. ಪುರುಷರಿಂದ ಯಾವುದು ಇಚ್ಛಿಸಲ್ಪಡುತ್ತದೆಯೋ, ಅಪೇಕ್ಷಿಸಲ್ಪಡುತ್ತದೆಯೋ, ಪಡೆಯಬೇಕು ಎಂಬ ಭಾವನೆಯಿಂದ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇವೆಯೋ ಅದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಪುರುಷಾರ್ಥಗಳು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪುರುಷ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಲಿಂಗ ಸೂಚಕ ಶಬ್ದ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಹೂಹು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಶರೀರ. ಶರೀರದಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತದೆಯೋ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಪುರುಷರೇ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಪುರಿ ಎಂದು ಋಷಿಗಳು ವರೆದಿಹರು ಈ ದೇಹವನ್ನ. ಕಲ್ಮಶದ ವಲ್ಮೀಕವೆಂದು ಈ ಒಡಲ ಜೆರೆಯದಿರು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಪುರಿ ಎಂದು ಅದನ್ನು ಋಷಿಗಳು ಒರೆದಿಹರು ಕಾಣು. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಕೊಳಕು ರಕ್ತ ಮಾಂಸಗಳ ಒಂದು ಕಡಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದನ್ನ ನೀನು ತಿರಸ್ಕರಿಸಬೇಡ. ಇದನ್ನ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಪುರಿ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಋಷಿಗಳು. ಶ್ರುತಿ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಅಷ್ಟಾಚಕ್ರ ನವದ್ವಾರ ದೇವಾನಾಂ ಪೂರಯೋಧ್ಯ. 8 ಚಕ್ರಗಳು 9 ಬಾಗಿಲುಗಳು ಇರುವಂತಹ, ದೇವತೆಗಳು ವಾಸಿಸುವಂತಹ ಅಯೋಧ್ಯ, ಯಾರೂ ಕೂಡ ಯುದ್ಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಜಯಿಸಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗದೇ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಪುರ ಇದು. ಹಾಗಿರುವಾಗ ಅದು ಲಿಂಗ ಸೂಚಕ ಶಬ್ದ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಪುರುಷಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಸಮಾನವಾಗಿ ಬೇಕು. ಅಂತಹ ಪುರುಷಾರ್ಥಗಳನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದಿನವರು 4 ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ: ಧರ್ಮ, ಅರ್ಥ, ಕಾಮ, ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ. ಇದರ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಗಿ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟಿದೆ. ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೇಳಿರುವಂತಹ ಮಾತು ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ಪರಂಪರೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ನಂಬಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರುವಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರ. ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿದವನಾಗಿ, ಸತ್ಯ ಸ್ವರೂಪನಾಗಿ, ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ತಾಗಿ ಕೇಳುವವರ ಹೃದಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾಟುವಂತಹ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಸತ್ಯದ ವಚನಗಳನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಗೀತೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಶ್ರೀ ಭಗವಾನ್ ವಾಚ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ಭಗವಂತ ಹೇಳಿರುವುದು. ಯಾ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಪದ್ಮನಾಭಸ್ಯ ಮುಖ ಪದ್ಮಾದ್ವಿನಿಧೃತ ಕಿಮನ್ಯೈಃ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ವಿಸ್ತರೈಃ ಗೀತಾ ಸುಗೀತಾ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ಗೀತಾಧ್ಯಾನ ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮಾತು ಕೂಡ ಉಂಟು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಗೀತೆಯನ್ನ ಸುಗೀತಾ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು. ಕೃಷ್ಣನಾಡುವ ಮಾತುಗಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಗ್ನಿಕುಂಡದಿಂದ ಸಿಡಿಯುವ ಕಿಡಿಗಳಂತೆ ಕೇಳುವವರ ಹೃದಯವನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿದುಕೊಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ತಾಗಿ ಸತ್ಯದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಸ್ವರೂಪವನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಧರ್ಮದ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಧರ್ಮ, ಇದನ್ನೇ ಗೀತಾನುಸಂಧಾನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಲ್ಲವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಗೀತಾನುಸಂಧಾನವನ್ನೇ ಧರ್ಮಾಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಧರ್ಮಾಭ್ಯಾಸ ಅನ್ನುವ ಪದ ಬಂದಾಗ ಈ ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನ ತಿಳಿಯುವುದಕ್ಕೆ 4 ನಮಗೆ ಕಾರಣಗಳು, 4 ಆಯಾಮಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ 4 ಉಪಾಯಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮೊದಲನೆಯದು ಭಗವನ್ ಮಹಿಮಾ ಸ್ಮರಣ, ಎರಡನೆಯದು ಸ್ವಾಹಂಕಾರ ವಿಸರ್ಜನೆ, ಮೂರನೆಯದು ಮಮಕಾರ ಕೃಷೀಕರಣ, ನಾಲ್ಕನೆಯದು ಸ್ವಗುಣ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಪರಾರ್ಥ ವಿನಿಯೋಗ. ಇದು ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬಾ ವಿವರವಾದ ವಿವರಣೆಯನ್ನ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸಂಕ್ಷೇಪವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತದು. ಭಗವನ್ ಮಹಿಮಾ ಸ್ಮರಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಕ್ತಿ. ಸರಿ, ಸ್ವಾಹಂಕಾರ ವಿಸರ್ಜನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಸರೆಂಡರ್. ಅಹಂಕಾರ, ನಾನು ಅನ್ನುವ ಭೌತಿಕ ರೂಪದ ನನ್ನ ಶರೀರ, ನನ್ನ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯ, ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸು, ನನ್ನ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಎನ್ನುವ ಬಾಹ್ಯದ ಆವರಣದ ಭೌತಿಕ ರೂಪದ ಆ ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಭಗವತ್ ಚಿಂತನೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದಂತೆ ನಾ ತಪಸ್ಕಾಯ ನಾ ಭಕ್ತಾಯ ಕದಾಚನ ನಚ ಶುಶ್ರೂಷವೇ ಮಾಂ ವಾಕ್ಯಂ ನಚ ಮಾಂ ಅಭ್ಯಸೂಯತಿ. ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಹಂಕಾರ ವಿಸರ್ಜನೆ. ಮೂರನೆಯದು ಮಮಕಾರ ಕೃಷೀಕರಣ. ಕೃಷೀಕರಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್. ಮಮಕಾರವನ್ನ, ನಾನು ನನ್ನದು ಎನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಭಾವವನ್ನ ಬಿಡುವುದು. ನಾಲ್ಕನೆಯದು ಸ್ವಗುಣ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳ ಪರಾರ್ಥ ವಿನಿಯೋಗ. ನಾವಾಗಲೇನೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮಾತನ್ನು ನಾನು ಜ್ಞಾಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂತಾದ್ರೆ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ಲೆಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ವಗುಣ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳ ವಿನಿಯೋಗ, ಪರಾರ್ಥ ವಿನಿಯೋಗ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ಧರ್ಮಾಭ್ಯಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಈ 4 ಸಾಧನಗಳು ನಮಗೆ. ಧರ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವುದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಧರ್ಮ, ಕುಟುಂಬ ಧರ್ಮ, ಕುಲಧರ್ಮ, ಜಾತಿ ಧರ್ಮ, ಸಮಾಜ ಧರ್ಮ, ಜನಪದ ಧರ್ಮ, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಧರ್ಮ, ಲೋಕಧರ್ಮ. ಹೀಗೆ ಆ ಧರ್ಮದ ಆ ಆಯಾಮಗಳು, ಸುಳಿಗಳು ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. 7 ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆಯ ಹೂವು ಅರಳಿದಂತೆ. ಒಂದು ಕೊಳ ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದರ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಂತುಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಲನ್ನ ಅದರ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸೆಯಿರಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಳೆ ಬೆಳೆಯಾಗಿ ಅಲೆಗಳು ಸುತ್ತುತ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರ ಎಡ್ಜನ್ನು ಹೋಗಿ ಮುಟ್ಟುತ್ತೆ. ಲೋಕಧರ್ಮದ ಎಡ್ಜನ್ನು ಹೋಗಿ ಮುಟ್ಟುವುದೇ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಯನದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಗುರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಲ್ಲವರು ಹೇಳುವ ಮಾತನ್ನ ವಿನಮ್ರತೆಯಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾನು. ಹೀಗೆ ಈ ಧರ್ಮಗಳ ವಿವರಣೆ ಇದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪುನಃ ಮತ್ತೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಧರ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಧರ್ಮ, ಜಾತಿ ಧರ್ಮ, ವರ್ಣಧರ್ಮ, ಆಶ್ರಮ ಧರ್ಮ, ವರ್ಣಾಶ್ರಮ ಧರ್ಮ, ರಾಜಧರ್ಮ, ಸ್ತ್ರೀ ಧರ್ಮ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಅದೇ ಭಾಷೆಯ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾತನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಬಹಳ ಇಷ್ಟವಾದಂತಹ ಮಾತು, ಅವರು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿವಿಧ ವೇದೋಕ್ತ ಧರ್ಮ ಲಕ್ಷಣ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಿ ಲಕ್ಷಣಶ್ಚ ನಿವೃತ್ತಿ ಲಕ್ಷಣ ಜಗತಃ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಕಾರಣಂ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ಪ್ರಾಣಿನಾಂ ಅಭ್ಯುದಯ ನಿಶ್ರೇಯಸಾರ್ಥಂ ನಿಶ್ರೇಯಸ ಭೂತಂ ಸರ್ವವರ್ಣಾದಿಭಿಃ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣಾದ್ಯೈಃ ವರ್ಣಿಭಿಃ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರ್ವವರ್ಣಾದಿಭಿಃ ವಿಶೇಷ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವುದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾತಿ ಸೂಚಕ ಶಬ್ದ ಅಲ್ವೇ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ವವರ್ಣಾದಿಭಿ ಶ್ರೇಯೋತಿಭಿಶ್ಚ ಅನುಷ್ಠೀಯಮಾನ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನ ಅನುಸಂಧಾನ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಈ ಧರ್ಮದ ವಿವರಣೆ, ಈ ಧರ್ಮದ ಆಚರಣೆ, ಈ ಧರ್ಮದ ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾವ ಪಕ್ಷಪಾತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಂದನೆಯ. ಇಂತಹ ಧರ್ಮಗಳ ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮಂತಹ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರು ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯನ್ನು ಓದುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ನಮಗೆ ನೈತಿಕ ನೆಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಶೀಲತೆಯಿಂದ ರಚನಾತ್ಮಕವಾಗಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವುದನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜೀವನ ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನೈತಿಕ ನೆಲೆಗಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾನ. ಆ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾನ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಸತ್ಯಂ ಅಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಂತೆ ಜಗದಾಹುರನೀಶ್ವರಂ ಅಪರಸ್ಪರ ಸಂಭೂತಂ ಕಿಮನ್ಯತ್ ಕಾಮಹೈತುಕಂ. ಅರ್ಜುನ ಹೀಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ. ಜಗತ್ತು ಅಸತ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು, ಅಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠವಾದದ್ದು, ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಪರಸ್ಪರ ಸಂಭೂತಂ ಕಿಮನ್ಯತ್ ಕಾಮಹೈತುಕಂ. ಗಂಡು ಹೆಣ್ಣುಗಳ ಸಂಯೋಗದಿಂದ ಅಪರಸ್ಪರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗರ್ಥ. ಸಂಯೋಗದಿಂದ ಈ ಜಗತ್ತು ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾನ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಆ ತರಹ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮತ್ತೆ 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 ಅವನ ಆ ಸತ್ಯದ ಕಿಡಿಗಳಂತಹ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು ಸಂಸಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ. ಗೀತೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಸಾಧಕ ಗ್ರಂಥವೋ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವನ ಧರ್ಮ ಯೋಗವನ್ನೂ ತಿಳಿಸುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಯೋಗ ಗ್ರಂಥ. ಒಬ್ಬ ದೇವಾಲಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಭಕ್ತಿಯ ತುರಿಯಾವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ಪರಪ್ರಾಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಶಿಖರದ ತುದಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮೋಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗಬಹುದು. ಆದರೆ ಉಳಿದ ಅದು ಒಬ್ಬನಿಗೆ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು 999 ಜನ ಮೂರ್ತಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಭಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ತೀರ್ಥ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ತಮಗೆ ಸಂಸಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತಹ ಆ ಒಂದು ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂಸಾರಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಜೀವನ ಧರ್ಮ ಯೋಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾಡಿನ ಒಬ್ಬ ಧೀಮಂತ ಸಾಹಿತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಎನಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಂತಹ ಡಿ.ವಿ.ಜಿ. ಅವರು ಗೀತೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ ತಾತ್ಪರ್ಯ ಅಥವಾ ಜೀವನ ಧರ್ಮ ಯೋಗ. ಅದು ಜೀವನ ಧರ್ಮ ಯೋಗ. ಇದು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಭಕ್ತಿ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಆ ಧರ್ಮವನ್ನು ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡು ಭಗವಂತನನ್ನ ಹೊಂದುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧಕವಾಗಿ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಉಪಕರಣ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಈ 7ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ 12ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದವರೆಗಿನ 6 ಅಧ್ಯಾಯಗಳನ್ನ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಷಟ್ಕ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ವೇ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈಗ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಷಟ್ಕ ನಿಜವಾಗಿಯೂ ನಮಗೆ ಸಂಸಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಮಾತು 7ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಯ್ಯಾಸಕ್ತ ಮನಃ ಪಾರ್ಥ ಯೋಗಂ ಯುಂಜನ್ ಮದಾಶ್ರಯ ಅಸಂಶಯಂ ಸಮಗ್ರಂ ವಾಂ ಯಥಾ ಜ್ಞಾಸ್ಯತಿ ತಚ್ಛೃಣು. ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಮಾತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನುಡಿದರೆ ಸ್ಫಟಿಕದ ಶಲಾಕೆಯಂತಿರಬೇಕು, ನುಡಿದರೆ ಮುತ್ತಿನ ಹಾರದಂತಿರಬೇಕು, ನುಡಿದರೆ ಲಿಂಗ ಮೆಚ್ಚಿ ಅಹುದಹುದೆನೆಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಮಾತುಂಟು ವೀರಶೈವ ಪಂಥದಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಮಾತು ಅಸಂಶಯಂ ಸಮಗ್ರಂ ಮಾಂ ಯಥಾ ಜ್ಞಾಸ್ಯಸಿ ತಚ್ಛೃಣು. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಮಗ್ರಂ ಅದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸಂದರ್ಭಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಮಾತು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು. ಸನಾತನ ಧರ್ಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಆಘಾತಕಾರಿ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಇಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾತುಂಟು, ರಂಗನಾಥಾನಂದಿಯವರು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮಾತು, ನನ್ನ ಧರ್ಮ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯಬದ್ಧವಾದದ್ದು, ನಿನ್ನ ಧರ್ಮ ಅಸಾಂಪ್ರದಾಯಿಕವಾದದ್ದು, ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನೀನು ಶಿಕ್ಷಾರ್ಹ. My doxy is orthodoxy and your doxy is heterodoxy, so you must be punished. ಆದ್ರೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೇಳುವ ಮಾತು ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಸಂಶಯಂ ಸಮಗ್ರಂ ಮಾಂ ಯಥಾ ಜ್ಞಾಸ್ಯಸಿ ತಚ್ಛೃಣು. ಅದನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾಸ್ಯಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ದ, ತಚ್ಛೃಣು ಅಂತನೂ ಹೇಳ್ದ. ಅವನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಮಾಯೆ ಎನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಜಗತ್ ಭ್ರಮಣ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಅವಿದ್ಯಾ ದೋಷವೇ ಕಾರಣವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಜಗತ್ ಭ್ರಮಣ ಶಕ್ತಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ತಿರುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಅಡೆಯಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದಲೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ದೈವೀ ಕೇಶ ಗುಣಮಯಿ ಮಮ ಮಾಯಾ ದುರತ್ಯಯ ಮಾಮೇವ ಯೇ ಪ್ರಪದ್ಯಂತೆ ಮಾಯಾಮೇತಾಂ ತರಂತಿದೆ. ಇದು ಈ ಗುಣಮಯಿ ದೇವಿ ನನ್ನದೇ ಆದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ದೇವಿ ಸ್ವರೂಪನಪ್ಪ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನು ದಾಟುವುದು ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಆದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಸಾಧ್ಯ, ದುರತ್ಯಯ, ಕಷ್ಟದಿಂದ ದಾಟಬಹುದು, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ದಾಟಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪರಮಹಂಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಇಂದ್ರಜಾಲವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಇಂದ್ರಜಾಲಿಕ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೋ ಆ ಇಂದ್ರಜಾಲದ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ನೀನು ಮನಸ್ಸಿಟ್ಟಾಗ ನಿನಗೆ ಭ್ರಮೆ ಉಂಟಾಗ್ತದೆ. ನೀನು ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋದನ್ನ ಬಿಡು, ಇಂದ್ರಜಾಲವನ್ನೇ ನೋಡು, ಅವನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇಷ್ಟೇನಾ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಒಂದು ಭಾವ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಮಾಯಾಂತು ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಮಿಥಿ ಮಾಯನಂತು ಮಹೇಶ್ವರಂ ಅನ್ನುವ ಮಾತುಂಟು, ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಮಾತು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಾಯಾ ಪುರುಷನಾದ ಆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದಲೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸರಿಯಾದ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ರೇಷೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ, ರೂಪರೇಷೆಯನ್ನ. ಅದೇ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಮಾಮೇವ ಯೇ ಪ್ರಪದ್ಯಂತೆ ಮಾಯಾಮೇತಾಂ ತರಂತಿತೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಪುನಃ ಆ ಭಕ್ತಿಯ ಆ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ, ಚತುರ್ವಿಧಾ ಭಜಂತೆ ಮಾಂ ಜನಾಃ ಸುಕೃತೇನೋರ್ಜುನ ಆರ್ಥೋ ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸು ರರ್ಥಾರ್ಥಿ ಜ್ಞಾನೀಚ ಪುರುಷರಷಭ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಅದರ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಜ್ಞಾನೇತು ಆತ್ಮೈವ ಮೇ ಮತಃ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಉದಾರ ಸರ್ವ ಏವೈತೆ ಜ್ಞಾನೀತ್ವಾತ್ಮೈವ ಮೇ ಮತಃ ಆಸ್ಥಿತಃ ಸಹಿ ಯುಕ್ತಸ್ಯ ಮಾಮೇವಾನುತ್ತಮಾಂ ಗತಿಂ ಮಾಮೇವ ಅನುತ್ತಮಾಂ ಗತಿಂ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅರ್ತಿಭಕ್ತಿಯವನು ಕಮ್ಮಿನೋ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವಿಜ್ಞಾನದ ಚಿಂತನೆಯ ಭಕ್ತಿಯವನು ಕಮ್ಮಿನೋ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಥಾರ್ಥಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಉದಾರಾಹ ಸರ್ವ ಏವೈತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸರಿಯಾದವರೇ. ಇವತ್ತು ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥಿತನದ ಭಕ್ತಿ ಇರಬಹುದು, ನಾಳೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅದು ಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬಹುದು. ಭಕ್ತಿ ಪಕ್ವವಾದಾಗ ಅದು ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೂಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬೇರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಭಕ್ತಿ ಬೇರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ತುರಿಯ ಅವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ನುವ ಮಾತುಂಟು. ರವೀಂದ್ರನಾಥ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗೋರರ ತಂದೆಯವರು ದೇವೇಂದ್ರನಾಥ ಟ್ಯಾಗೋರ್ ಅವರು ನಾಸ್ತಿಕರಾಗಿದ್ರು. ಅವರೇನಂತ ಭಕ್ತರಾಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದಾಂತದ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತರು. ಅವರು ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಡಾರ್ಜಿಲಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲೋ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲೋ ತಮ್ಮ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಹೌಸ್ನಲ್ಲೋ ಕೂತಾಗ ಸಂಜೆಯ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪೇಪರ್ ತುಂಡು ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಅವರ ಪಾದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಕೊಳ್ತಂತೆ. ತಣ್ಣಗಾಯ್ತು, ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ಒಂದು ಪೇಪರ್ ತುಂಡು. ಇದೇನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ತುಂಡು? ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಎತ್ತಿಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪೇಪರ್ ತುಂಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಶಾವಾಸ್ಯೋಪನಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಮೊದಲನೆಯ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಬರೆದಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಈಶಾವಾಸ್ಯಮಿದಂ ಸರ್ವಂ ಯತ್ಕಿಂಚ ಜಗತ್ಯಾಂಜಗತು ತೇನ ತ್ಯಕ್ತೇನ ಪುಂಜೀತಃ ಮಾಗೃಧಃ ಕಸ್ಯ ಸ್ವಿಧನಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅವರ ಮನಸ್ಸೇ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. ಅವರು ಆ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ರಾಜಾ ರಾಮ್ ಮೋಹನ್ ರಾಯರಿಗೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ವೇದಾಂತದ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಇಡೀ ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತ ಹರಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟರು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಮಾತು. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಯದೃಚ್ಛಯ ಮತ್ಕಥಾದವು ಜಾತ ಶ್ರದ್ಧಸ್ತು ಯಃ ಪುಮಾನ್ ನ ನಿರ್ವಿಣ್ಣ ನಾತಿಸಕ್ತ ಯೋಗೋಸ್ಯ ಭಕ್ತಿದಃ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಭಾಗವತದ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು. ಯದೃಚ್ಛಯ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ, ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ ಭಗವಂತನ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದವರಿಗೆ. ಯದೃಚ್ಛಯ, ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಆಗಿ ಯದೃಚ್ಛಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಭಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬಹುದು. ಬಹುನಾಂ ಜನ್ಮನಾಂ ಅಂತೆ ಜ್ಞಾನವಾಂ ಮಾಂ ಪ್ರಪದ್ಯತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವ ಸರ್ವಮಿತಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ, ಈಗ 5ನೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಈ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಪೂರ್ತಿ 13 ವರ್ಷದವರೆಗೆ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ನಡೆಯುವ ಆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಆದ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಜ್ಞಾನವಾನ್ ಮಾಂ ಪ್ರಪದ್ಯತೆ ಎನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಮಾತಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸಿದ್ಧರಾಗಬಹುದು. ಅದರಿಂದ ವಾಸುದೇವ ಸರ್ವಮಿತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸುದೇವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವುದು ಒಂದು ಸಾಪೇಕ್ಷ ಶಬ್ದ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ಟರ್ಮ್. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಅನ್ನುವ ಭಾವವೇ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ಗೀತಾನುಸಂಧಾನ ಯಜ್ಞ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂತಹ ಆ ಭಾವದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸಂಪನ್ನವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಮುರಾರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದ ಒಬ್ಬ ಕವಿ ಇದ್ದ, ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದ ಕವಿ, ನಾಟಕಕಾರ. ಅವನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ತಸ್ಯಮೇ ಸರ್ವ ಶಿಷ್ಯಸ್ಯ ನೋಪದೇಶ ದರಿದ್ರತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಅವರು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಗುರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ನನಗೆ ಅಂತಹ ಮಹನೀಯರು ಶಿಷ್ಯರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನನಗೇನೋ ಎರಡು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಹೊರತುವ ನಾನೇನು ಅಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸನಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ನನಗೆ ಆಗ ಹೊರಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ಮುರಾರಿ ಹೇಳಿದ ಮಾತನ್ನ ನಾನು ವಿನಮ್ರತೆಯಿಂದ ಜ್ಞಾಪಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳುವುದೇನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇದಂ ಪರಮಂ ಗುಹ್ಯಂ ಮದ್ಭಕ್ತೇಷ್ವಭಿದಾಸ್ಯತಿ ಭಕ್ತಿಂ ಮಯಿ ಪರಾಂ ಕೃತ್ವ. ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಸನ್ಯಾಸ ಯೋಗದ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಪರಮ ರಹಸ್ಯವಾದಂತಹ ಈ ತತ್ವ ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನ ಮದ್ಭಕ್ತೇಶು ಯಹ ಅಭಿದಾಸ್ಯತಿ, ನನ್ನ ಭಕ್ತರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿತರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಂತಹವರು ಭಕ್ತಿಂ ಮಯಿ ಪರಾಂ ಕೃತ್ವ ಮಾಮೇ ವೈಷ್ಯತಿ ಅಸಂಶಯ, ನನ್ನನ್ನೇ ಅವರು ಪಡಿತಾರೆ. ನನ್ನನ್ನೇ ಪಡಿತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ? ಅಕ್ಷರ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಯೋಗದ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಕಾಲೇ ಮನಸಾಚರೇನ ಭಕ್ತ್ಯಾಯುಕ್ತೋ ಯೋಗ ಬಲೇನ ಚೈವ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸತಂ ಪರಂ ಪುರುಷ ಮುಪೈತಿ ದಿವ್ಯಂ, ಅಂತಹ ದಿವ್ಯವಾದಂತಹ ಪರಮಪುರುಷ ಪದವಿಯನ್ನ ಪಡೆಯುವಂತಹ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಬರ್ರಿ. ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಯನವನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹಂಚುವವರಿಗೆ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಲೌಕಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಷ್ಟನೆಯ ವೇದದ ಆಶಯ ಒಂದುಂಟು. ಏನಕೇನ ಪ್ರಕಾರೇಣ ಕೋಹಿನಾಂ ಅನುಜೀವತಿ ಪರೇಶಾಂ ಉಪಕಾರಾರ್ಥಂ ಯಜ್ಜೀವತಿ ಸಜೀವತಿ. ರಾತ್ರಿ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಮಂತ್ರ ಋಗ್ವೇದದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಸೂಕ್ತವನ್ನ ದ್ರಷ್ಟಾರನಾದ, ಆ ಸೂಕ್ತದ ದ್ರಷ್ಟಾರನಾದ ಮುನಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಏನಕೇನ ಪ್ರಕಾರೇಣ ಕೋಹಿನಾಂ ಅನುಜೀವತಿ ಪರೇಶಾಂ ಉಪಕಾರಾರ್ಥಂ ಯಜ್ಜೀವತಿ ಸಜೀವತಿ ಸಾಗ್ರಂ ವರ್ಷ ಶತಂಜೀವ ಪಿಬ ಖಾದ ಚ ಮೋದ ಚ ದುಃಖಿತಾಂಶ್ಚ ದ್ವಿಜಾಂಶ್ಚೈವ ಪ್ರಜಾಂಚ ಪಶುಪಾಲಯ. ಇದು ಋಷಿಯ ಆಶಯ. ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅದು ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ವಯ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. 3ನೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಕೊನೆಯ ದಿನವನ್ನ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಸಹಿತವಾಗಿ. ಸಾಗ್ರಂ ವರ್ಷ ಶತಂಜೀವ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ಪೈಪುಗಳನ್ನ ಮೂಗಿಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲಗುವುದಲ್ಲ. ಪಿಬ ಖಾದಚ ಮೋದಚ, ಬೇಕಾದಂತಹ ಸಾಂಸಾರಿಕ ಜೀವನದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಸುಖವನ್ನ ಆಮೋದ ಪ್ರಮೋದಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ಕಳೆಯಬೇಕು. ದುಃಖಿತಾಂಶ ದ್ವಿಜಾಂಶ್ಚೈವ, ದುಃಖಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸತ್ಪುರುಷರನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅವರನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ, ಏನಕ್ಕೇನ ಪ್ರಕಾರೇಣ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡುವವರ ಜೀವನವಲ್ಲ, ಪರೇಶಾಂ ಉಪಕಾರಾರ್ಥ ಯಜ್ಜೀವತಿ ಸಜೀವತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದೊಂದು ಮೋಟೋ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಅವರು. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರ ಆ ಒಂದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಮೋಟೋ, ಅದು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಜೀವನದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಫಲವಾದಂತಹ ಆ ತುರಿಯ ಫಲವನ್ನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಂಜಲ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆಯನ್ನ ಯೋಗೇಶ್ವರನಾದ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಕಲ ಮಂಗಲಗಳನ್ನು ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡಲಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ